Nahum, Chapter 1. Prophecy about Nineveh. Book of the Vision of Nahum of Elkosh. Yahweh is a jealous and vengeful God. Yahweh takes vengeance. He is rich in wrath. Yahweh takes vengeance on his foes. He stores up fury for his enemies. Yahweh is slow to anger but great in power. Yahweh never lets evil go unpunished. In storm and whirlwind he takes his way. The clouds are the dust stirred up by his feet. He rebukes the sea, dries it up, and makes all the rivers run dry. Bashan and Carmel wither. The greenery of the Lebanon withers too. The mountains tremble before him, the hills reel. The earth collapses before him, the world and all who live in it. His fury, who can withstand it? Who can endure his burning wrath? His anger pours out like fire, and the rocks break apart before him. Yahweh is better than a fortress in time of distress. He recognizes those who trust in him even when the flood rushes on. He will make an end once and for all of those who defy him, and pursue his foes into darkness. What are your thoughts about Yahweh? He it is who makes a final end. His adversaries will not rise up a second time. Like a thicket of tangled brambles, like dry straw, they will be burnt up completely. To Assyria from you has emerged someone plotting evil against Yahweh, one of Belial's counselors. To Judah Yahweh says this, unopposed and many though they be, they will be cut down and pass away. Though I have made you suffer, I shall make you suffer no more. For now I shall break his yoke which presses hard on you and snap your chains. To the king of Nineveh as for you, this is Yahweh's decree. You will have no heirs to your name. From the temple of your gods I shall remove carved image and cast image, and I shall devastate your tomb, for you are accursed. Nahum, Chapter 2. To Judah see on the mountains the feet of the herald. Peace, he proclaims. Judah, celebrate your feasts, carry out your vows. For Belial will never pass through you again. He has been utterly destroyed. The destroyer has advanced on you, guarding the siege works, watching the road, bracing himself, mustering great strength. For Yahweh has restored the vine of Jacob, yes, the vine of Israel, although the plunderers had plundered them, although they had snapped off their vine shoots. The shields of his fighting men show red, his warriors are dressed in scarlet. The metal of the chariot sparkles as he prepares for battle. The horsemen are impatient for action. The chariots storm through the streets, jostling one another in the squares. They look like blazing flames, like lightning they dash to and fro. His captains are called out. Stumbling as they go, they speed towards the wall, and the mantelet is put in position. The sluices of the river are opened, and the palace melts in terror. Beauty is taken captive, carried away, her slave girls moaning like doves and beating their breasts. Nineveh is like a lake, whose waters are draining away. Stop, stop, but no one turns back. Plunder the silver, plunder the gold. There is no end to the treasure, a mass of everything you could desire. Ravaged, wrecked, ruined. Heart fails and knees give way. Anguish is in the loins of all, and every face grows pale. Where is the lion's den now, the cave of the lion's whelps, where the lion and lioness walked with their cubs and no one molested them, where the lion would tear up food for his whelps and strangle the kill for his mates, where he filled his caverns with prey and his lairs with spoil? Look, I am against you, declares Yahweh Sabaoth. I shall send your chariots up in smoke, and the sword will devour your whelps. I shall cut short your depredations on earth, and the voices of your envoys will be heard no more. Nahum, Chapter 3. Disaster to the city of blood, packed throughout with lies, stuffed with booty, where plundering has no end. The crack of the whip, the rumble of wheels, galloping horse, jolting chariot, charging cavalry, flashing swords, gleaming spears, a mass of wounded, hosts of dead, countless corpses. They stumble over corpses because of the countless whorings of the harlot, the graceful beauty, the cunning witch, who enslaved nations by her harlotries and tribes by her spells. Look, I am against you, declares Yahweh Sabaoth. I shall lift your skirts as high as your face and show your nakedness to the nations, your shame to the kingdoms. I shall pelt you with filth. I shall shame you and put you in the pillory. Then all who look at you will shrink from you and say, Nineveh has been ruined. Who will mourn for her? Where would I find people to comfort you? Are you better off than Nahum situated among rivers? Her defenses the seas, her rampart the waters? In Ethiopia and Egypt lay her strength, and it was boundless. Put and the Libyans served in her army. But she too went into exile, into captivity. Her little ones too were dashed to pieces at every crossroad. Lots were drawn for her nobles. All her great men were put in chains. You too will become drunk. You will go into hiding. You too will have to search for a refuge from the enemy. Your fortifications are all fig trees, with early ripening figs. As soon as they are shaken, they fall into the mouth of the eater. Look at your people. You are a nation of women. The gates of your country gape open to your enemies. Fire has devoured their bars. Draw yourselves water for the siege. Strengthen your fortifications. Into the mud with you, puddle the clay, repair the brick kiln. There the fire will burn you up. The sword will cut you down. Make yourselves as numerous as locusts. Make yourselves as numerous as the hoppers. Let your commercial agents outnumber the stars of heaven, your garrisons like locusts, and your marshals like swarms of hoppers. They settle on the walls when the day is cold. The sun appears, the locusts spread their wings. They fly away, away they fly. No one knows where. Alas, your shepherds are asleep. King of Assyria, your bravest men slumber. Your people are scattered on the mountains with no one to gather them. There is no remedy for your wound. Your injury is past healing. All who hear the news of you clap their hands at your downfall. For who has not felt your unrelenting cruelty?